2 of Invincible Season 2 is going to be streaming very soon on Prime Video, and I got a chance to see it a little early so that I can talk to you guys about it. However, this is going to be a spoiler-free review of Season 2 Part 2. I don't want to give you any details, especially not for this, because a lot of stuff happens out the gate, which makes this one of the tougher reviews, because I'm trying to do this in the most vague way possible to try and talk to you guys about it. But without further ado, let's dive into it. Previously on Season 2, Mark and his father Omni-Man reunited. They are not obviously at great speaking terms because of what happened, but now Omni-Man has a new wife and a child, and that's something that's spinning Mark's world out of control. When the Viltrumites, however, eventually attack, they take Omni-Man hostage and they leave Mark pretty much to dead, but he does recover, and that's what kicks off this part of the season. He has to deal with other enemies who are coming for him as well, particularly Angstrom Levy, who seems to be going through the multiverse for reasons that are not made clear for, well, a while. It's weird because I'm talking about this like it's a whole new season when it's actually not. It's just the second part of the Season 2. So it that concept is very interesting to me. I've done this twice now with Stranger Things 4, The Witcher Season 3. It's always interesting because they're completely different videos, but I'm getting sidetracked. The whole idea is to talk about this particular part of the season. I'm going to tell you this as a whole. I like this season more than the first one. And I think a lot of that has to do with a very important core aspect of the storyline, which is dealing with what happens after. This is something that I really like about most superhero stories, the idea of dealing with something after it's happened. Many a times you'll see heroes take part in events or, fight someone, and you kind of go, okay, the winner is this, and now we can move on with the rest of the story. But I feel like with Invincible, consequences play a huge role in character decisions. And every single thing that happens going forward in later episodes is affected by a decision that was made prior. And I think, once again, with Mark Grayson, the show does a really, really good job of making sure that that part of his life is made clear, that he is dealing with a lot post those activities as Invincible. And whether it be different places, whether it be with, ties between his own family, friends, his girlfriend, they're all coming to a very aggressive head, and eventually it's going to explode unless he figures out what the hell to do. And it leads to a very tumultuous, emotionally speaking, season, and even physically, for what it's worth, for Mark. And I think the writing is excellent in that regard. It really manages to nail that aspect of the story, and it also gives you a bunch of really brutal action in the process, which is very brutal. It's very crazy. Obviously, that's something you've come to expect from Invincible. But yeah, a lot of really, really gruesome stuff is in this section of the season. And the show, once again, beautifully animated when it comes to those sequences, or just in general, and even sometimes making fun of that. Something that has come up when it comes to Season 2 is you talking about how long it's taken to get here, and so much of the process that's been going into that. So the idea of a part 2 of a Season 2 is like, we've waited so long already. And there are moments where there are jokes about that. Self-referential humor is also something that Invincible has excelled at, and that's in here. But there's also jokes about recent other things that have been in comic book media. There's a couple of jokes that pertain to another multiverse thing that happened recently, which was really, really funny. I'm not gonna spoil too much more about that stuff, but I did enjoy some of those tongue-in-cheek moments amidst the more serious moments that were being dealt with. There are many serious moments. I don't think I really had a lot of laughs towards the last couple of episodes, especially. Particularly the last episode, because it's very intense. And I love that, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a fantastic episode. I think all 4 of them were really, really good. But I think the season finale, the way it all wraps up, very effective. Invincible, for me, as a show, has done a very good job of maintaining that balance. I think Season 1 did a good job of it. I think Season 2 does it even better. And that is something that is going to be a requirement with every single step of Mark's story. They're all dealing with the issues that come with being a superhero. And it's something that is unfortunately very heartbreaking. And I think the voice acting that goes along with that is fantastic as well. Once again, Steven Yeun is great. There's one episode in particular in this part of the season where he really, I think, pulls the best of the entire show so far. And I can say that honestly for any of the voice actors. I think there are things which happen in this season with the characters, all of them honestly, that I feel like they're tapping into a different side that, you know, we haven't seen in the seasons up until now. And I think between the two seasons, I think season 2 is, I think, an improvement over season 1. I think the storytelling that is being done over here is exceptional. Again, very vague surface level review because I can't really give you spoilers and I don't want to. There's not much I want to reveal. There are minor gripes that I have throughout. There are some side plots that I feel like are not as interesting or go anywhere as much as I want them to. But they are character moments, so I guess you could give it that. But also, there are some things that are so intricate to the plot over here that I wish that they did mesh together a little bit better. But I'm also okay with just having character moments in general, you know, just on the side, just a little downtime. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a couple of times where it meanders a little bit in the middle of tense stuff. But overall, I really enjoyed Invincible Season 2, and I'm gonna give it an A. Gave the last one an A-, so this is a bump up, and that's why it gets this grade. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of Invincible Season 2, Part 2. I know it's early to ask that. It's not out yet. But when it does come out, let me know accordingly in the comments. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe. Thank you very much, as always, for watching once again. And I hope you guys enjoy the show.